What's going on, guys? Welcome to Test This Tech, and I wanted to talk about the Trimui Smart Pro and how it is with M8 Headless, and if you should get this over the Trimui brick. So, when it comes to the Trimui devices, I've said before that they are really top tier to me when it comes to these retro handheld type devices, and having a really good quality sound or using it with M8 Headless. Um, these are just really easy plug and play. If you are new to, if you're like, what is M8 Headless? I don't understand. M8 Headless is a music tracking software, really powerful, designed by one guy. He kind of took the blueprint from, like, the LSDJ, the Pico tracker, or whatever, what have you, kind of redesigned it and kind of made it just a much more powerful tracker. You can do a whole lot with this. People have recorded albums with this software, right? So, um, yeah. So what he also did was he has the Dirty Wave M8, which is a device, but he actually has released the software where people can actually use that software on other devices to check it out. So um, this is one of the more solid devices that you can use for that, just because it's built really well. It has the I want to say it's the I forgot the type of specific processor it has in there. I know it's quad core, but it's smooth. The Wi-Fi is fast. I think it's 5.0 Bluetooth. Bluetooth. The Wi-Fi is really fast. And as far as for navigating on the M8 Headless, it's nice doing it on a bigger screen. This is a really nice screen. That's one of the big points too, is that the resolution on these screens for Trim UI is really nice. So you're getting a really nice experience when you're going through and making this music and stuff. So that's the pluses, I would say. As far as for you're getting a really nice screen you're working through the M8 Headless software on. It's just a well built device. The speakers are they're okay. They're kind of teeny. They kind of have a little more on the treble and the mids versus the lows. So don't expect like speakers from like a ROG Ally or like a MSI Claw. But it's gonna be pretty decent speakers. Not the best, but okay. The downsides for me on this, there's two things. One of the second thing isn't super a downside, but it's something to consider. The one actual downside, I think, are the analog sticks. I almost feel like you know, while they're not sliders, they're actual analog sticks, but it's almost like they're divoted too deep within the device. So it's almost like you have to, if you get like a riser, possibly that might be possible to get just more traction and feeling. I kind of feel like I don't have enough room to really navigate effectively with these analog sticks. So I'm not really the biggest fan of these. The D button is great. It's the same D pad from like the Trim UI brick. And then these face buttons are great. They're not super loud. They're good. The triggers, I'm not really a big fan of the triggers. They're not really that responsive. While they're not super loud, you can use the triggers to navigate through M8 Headless, and the benefit of that is that you can use, like, I want to say it's the right trigger you can use to play, and then you can use the left trigger for the hold button, or the shift button rather. But it's I don't know. It's not the best. It's not the best responsiveness that I've felt when it comes to trigger buttons, because you can also use, of course, the select, for shift instead. But it's I don't know. I kind of wish that was a better experience when it came to the triggers. So I guess it's three things. So the analog sticks, not really that big of a fan of. The triggers are kind of whatever. The second thing is, and this is really the biggest thing to think about, is that from a power perspective, it's the exact same chipset as the Trimui brick. Let me see if I can pull out a Trimui brick here. I got the purple one. I'm really hyped and excited and happy that I have it. Um, but yeah, it's the same chipset as the Trimui brick. So you know, as far as for using this, right? If this was a more powerful device, the Smart Pro, if it had like a way more powerful processor, maybe some other features that you can integrate within M8 Headless, You know, the host port is on the top, which is nice. You know, the Trim UI brick, the host is between the shoulder buttons, which, you know, take that for what you will. It could be annoying if you're holding the device, if you have it kind of like on a stand, phone stand or something, maybe not so much. But it's pretty much the same. This is the same power as a Trim UI brick. So beyond the screen size, it's pretty much the same thing, and they're charging more. So, and the M8 Headless on a Trim UI brick is really great. It's arguably one of the best experiences on a retro handheld using M8 Headless. Um, you know, so and then just aesthetically, there's a bunch of other different colors, right? You have red, obviously you have that purple there, you have it in black for the Smart Pro, you have white and black, and that's it. So you kind of have to make a decision, right? What makes more sense for you to choose this? Of course, you know, for these devices you can use to play up to PlayStation 1 and Dreamcast, a little bit of some Dreamcast, a little bit of N64, not too much, but that's kind of one of those things. If you wanted to, if you're using M8 Headless, they're both going to give you the same experience pretty much. It's just the screen is a little bigger on this. Is it worth it? Is it worth it to you? So that's my thing. And for me personally, I am just going to get an additional Trim UI brick. I just feel like it would just make more sense with kind of how I want it set up. You know, I want to do like a music set where I have both devices and I can integrate within the two and whatnot. So I have a plan to do that soon. And the Trim UI Smart Pro is cool. You know, it's good. It works great with M8 Headless, like I mentioned, but it's you're not getting any more power, and you're paying more. You know, especially because Prime Days deals, while technically it did end, some of the deals are still happening. For example, some of the different colors are still $68, and it comes with a 64 gigabyte SD card. You know, so some of those deals are still happening right now. So is it $30 more? You know, is it $25 to $30 more worth it versus the brick? I don't know. I don't know if I can confidently say that if I'm specifically using M8 Headless. So that's the thing. To wrap this up, if you're using M8 Headless, that's the goal, obviously. The components are the same from the brick to the Smart Pro. And then also, too, you know, you're getting that amazing headphone port. The headphone port on this is fantastic. It sounds really good, really clear. You can record through this headphone port. Like, that's how good it is. But aside from, you know, but also the headphone port is about the same, you know, high quality in the Trim UI brick. So is this, if you're just doing M8 Headless, I would just say, you know, aesthetically, what do you prefer? Right, because you're going to get the same thing. If you want to do more than that, and you want to, you know, kind of dive into some different type of gaming, things of that nature, then maybe consider the Trim UI Smart Pro, especially if you want to do like PSP games, where, you know, the resolution, you can kind of, you know, that screen can be stretched out and it's not going to be cut off. You know, so something to think about there. But again, as far as your M8 Headless, these are really the top dogs. These are great because you can route record out into these, and they're just really clean, nice devices. But that's my review of the Smart Pro. Of course, if you have questions on the M8 Headless stuff, let me know. Again, I'm still learning this software. I am not a guru of M8 Headless. Huge fan, though, and I'm learning every day. But anyway, J Pal here from Texas Tech. Catch you guys next video. Thanks a lot.